Hey there, everybody. How are you doing? It is Wednesday, a little city, country city from War. What a great. Those are back in the days, man. I'll tell you what, it's odd. The more you look at this stuff, you look back and you're going, we ain't in the same place we started at, Frank. Somewhere along the line, our roads got mixed up here because I don't know where we're at, but it's weird. So hello, everybody. How are you doing? So good to see you. Favor be upon us all. And I hope you're having a great day. I know I am. And, you know, lessons abounding, and we're going to be talking about lessons today. Hello, Martin and Heidi. How are you doing? David Castle, Grandpa Brian, much love to you. Eric, hello, how are you? Al, Big Al, much love. Hey, Loretta. Nina and the Mystic has her show on the Hump Day show, so tune in over there. Karen, good to see you. Emperor Rex, Robert V is in the house, and Isby is here. Hello, Jules, much love, darling. Palanca, much love to you, dear. Let's see, Deborah Sloan, much love to you. Kimberly, let's see, Chrissy, boy, there's just lots of people here. So Gaia, good to see you. Much love to you and Paul, of course. Listen, I know the energy is weird, folks. I just got to tell you, I'm wearing the Be of Service to Others shirts because there is a lot of funky energy. That's all I got to say. It's got a funk to it. And, the thing about funk is that it's one of those things. Hello there, Shannon. Good to see you, hon. You can turn funk into great music. You see, funk is fun, and it's also got a little jazz to it. So you call it the funk, but this has got a funky, it's like, man, got a weird vibe to it. So theme for us today, I have these all my office. So believe when it's beyond reason to believe. Seriously, you can learn something. So I'm going to share some things with you. There is so much going on. There's a lot going on in our lives, Lynn and I. It's just the time. And I got to tell you, I never really imagined that that we would actually be going through, and I'm not saying it's the exact, but hey, it's a damn good replica of it, of what could be easily termed a tribulation. Now, when people hear that term, it invokes a lot of religious, symbolism and, et cetera, et cetera. But if you take all that to sweep it to the side, excellent. We are in a tribulation. Just means trials. That's what it means. And you can definitely say that mankind, the world, is in some serious trials. And you look at everything that's happening, and if you look at a certain script, you're going, when did they start the movie? I didn't even know that, that there was a movie. So, yeah. So the thing you have to learn is, because I'm well experienced in this, when you look at changes that's happening to everybody, there's probably more changes taking place in people's individual lives today than ever before. This is tantamount to much what our grandparents went through in the Depression and then subsequently World War II. Very trying times. That was a tribulation period. And we in our generation are now in a tribulation period. One that, at least our grandparents in their tribulation, they had something to give reference to. War sucks, but war is basically war. It's one human being killing the other for usually a political or religious ideology. Love the iced tea. Boy, I tell you what, I got some strong iced tea today. And I mean, it's like sticking my finger into the light socket. But, oh, okay. So, yeah. But what we are facing today is new territory. And there are so many things in play that it's hard to really look at it as any one single event. It seems to be a coalescing of many energies all coming in at the same time. And it's a little unsettling. And particularly when, hello, Teresa, good to see you. When you begin to see change, and folks, lots of change, and there's a lot of fear in people. And I was awakened at about 1:30 this morning, and once you invite these folks in, I mean, they'll come in. And I was awakened, and here is the lesson. You have to learn to transmute emotional energy into your energy. And when you do that, it begins to push against those forces or spirits, because you have to remember there is an actual spirit of fear. It's true. It's just like there's the spirit of death. There's the spirit of fear. And the thing about a spirit of fear, it's like a huge energy column that spirits can plug into, and it has an effect. And if you happen to be of a spirit being who happens to, that's your frequency, then you become an agent of that, and it spreads out. So what does it do when it comes upon you? Worrying never accomplishes anything, because what you're really doing, you're putting all of your faith into the negative. And actually, you're calling those things that be not as though they are. That's what worry is. Worry is a future that you literally create. That's why if we could only learn from these lessons and then invert that and say, well, if that is true, then the opposite is just as true as well. And that is, if I basically, you can consume fear within the solar plexus of your spirit, that's where your spirit is, and the transmutation begins to take effect there. And then that energy is, it's supercharged in many different ways. And then you're suddenly, again, that repulses that. And then what lies before you? Gratitude. It's like, man, this is far out. In fact, you can actually develop the attitude that when you face a challenge, you're like, bring it on, sister. I'm ready for you. I'm not only going to overcome you, I'm going to kick your ass so bad that you won't even think twice about ever coming into my sphere for a long time. And oh, by the way, you want to meet my posse? There's some badasses you don't want. And you go right back to sleep. So actual thing, you just learn to do it. Now, next Wednesday, we got Ryder Lee coming on. It's always going to be fun with Ryder. And tomorrow night, I'm telling you, tune into the Steiger perspective. I am starting a worldwide protest. And it's something that every person, no matter where you are, you can participate in this. And the protest, the worldwide protest, as it gains traction, and I believe this will go viral, give me a viral. That's a Freudian slip. Yeah, I caught it. That all of us can partake of it. And I'll just let the tribe know about it here. I am going to start the worldwide protest, and I see us doing this on a single day around the world. I see people coming into the streets, and it's going to be called I Am Mad as Hell protest. And this is in memorial to the character Henry completely lost my train of thought there, his name. I had that. Geez, I hate it when that happens. But anyway, you know, it's the character in the movie Network and Howard Beale. And, you know, where he just had enough. He just had enough. And he stuck his head out the window and just right there in New York City and screamed, I am mad as hell and I'm not going to take this anymore. I believe if you'll listen tomorrow night, you'll see how we can do this. This can go viral literally overnight. And I believe that we are in that place as a collective consciousness of a species. We're there. So please join me. Send me an email. Tell me you're going to join me in I'm as mad as hell and I'm not going to take this anymore protest. And we'll get into it tomorrow night. So there you go. Because listen, folks, we can do these shows and we can talk amongst ourselves, but this is something we can go and take to the world. And I see placards, I see banners being made of people just simply having on the sign, I am mad as hell and I'm not going to take this anymore. And I think that that is a start to begin to, how shall we say, counter shock this consciousness. So there I am on that. So tune in tomorrow night because that's what our species really, really does well. All right. Got some really cool stuff people have sent, and I've got to show you this one video. This is some weird stuff. So I'm not going to turn the sound on because it's really no necessary, but the gentleman that sent, thank you. And I didn't write the name down, but you know who you are. Look at the grandma right here, folks. And I am going, I guess I can play it. I've got to show. Okay. Can't because I got an echo in my head. All right. You ready? Here we go. Watch this, folks. Watch grandma. What happened to grandma? I mean, come on now. Just what is going on here? Let's look at this again. So we're going to zoom in on her and look at the arrow. I mean, yeah, you know, that's someone who I'd probably want to help and see if there's, but I have a feeling she may be more than what she appears to be. Or she's entering into a gateway. So let's watch this again. Now there she goes. And I'm going to just look at, she's already disappearing. And I'm just going to take this kind of frame by frame. You ready? Yeah, this is South Africa, I believe. So, I mean, we'll look at it one more time because this is just strange. So, thank you for the one who sent that to me. Is that just strange or what? I mean, really? Some have entertained angels unaware. I happen to think that they're either angels or the armada is about to unload on us. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. Boy, there is just so much happening. And, you know, we're transmuting the energy here. I mean, this is a place where we can literally start living to our full potential. And that is that we're spiritual beings. We, you know, listen, have you ever thought what keeps you alive on the other side? If you follow the simple laws, let's say first and second laws of thermodynamics, energy is neither created nor destroyed. It's just in a transmutation process. So the key becomes then the question is, well, what's the energy source for a spirit? I mean, could it be, in fact, as Lilith said, it was in fact the divine spark of the Adram? You know, the real human that's not here, never has been, but up there. And I'm not talking just in the perception of a quote unquote heaven. No, I'm talking about dimensions above us. So, always transmute transmissions. I love that, Danny. That is really, really cool. Yeah, it's like, well, the glitch in the system is really here. That was on a news feed that was live, and a very astute. Listen, I have the video. It's in the archives. I mean, I'm almost about to hit 2,000 podcasts, and I was watching Channel 9 News here. I guess it was about 5 years ago, and they had this story at an airport, and I'm watching that, and all of a sudden I see something zip by. Now, the television I have is that I can stop it and I can rewind it and do it frame by frame and then record it. And sure enough, right there at DIA, there was this aircraft. I mean, it was moving, but it was there. So I don't know. Now, I want to show some of Big Al's work. Folks, he has really been working diligently on the deck, and I want to preview some of what he is doing. And I think this will be the first. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Al, you're very talented, brother. No doubt about it. All right. So let me get over here. And then I will be sharing here. And then we'll be going live here. So check these out, folks. Is that not cool? And I tell you, these sigils, I'm going to talk about this where we're looking at. Al, love the work. Can't wait for the deck. And it's I've had thoughts about this. I'm from the old school, back in the day when we had Rolodexes. I actually had a golden Rolodex that, because that's how I started in the corporate ladder. I started out in sales and marketing, and what I was selling were big ticket items. And anyway, I mean, I could see this. I still think flashcards will probably be, but check that out. So the sigils is where once you begin, and by the way, you can charge these. You really can. You can do it electronically. It's quite interesting. In fact, if you think about it, charging a sigil electronically is really kind of like skipping the whole process where you have to literally create the energy within you to charge a talisman. You do know that, right? You do understand that in order to charge a talisman, a sigil, the energy has to come from you. And then you have to learn how to project that energy. Well, you can just right here, because we're using a medium called, the internet. So if you get into these sigils, ha ha ea. I love that. Ha ha ya. Ha ha ya. Ha ha ya. And if you learn to sing the Psalms as well, powerful stuff while you're staring at the center of the sigil, then what you want to do is, of course, you begin to go to the outside black circle, begin to look at the names. Doesn't matter if you don't understand them, you just look at them, going counterclockwise, keeping your eye again in on that sigil and singing the angel's name. Contact. You don't need to do anything else. I mean, you really don't. If you like going through the ritual and there are sayings and invocations, yeah, You can do that as well. But to really connect with this group, I think Al said he saw that when he was either leaving Trina or going there. But I thought that was really cool. And Trina actually has those angels. So, Al, I love the work. Check that out, folks. I mean, seriously. Now, this is the Shem Talisman. I'm telling you what. Woo! This is one of the most powerful. I don't know. It's a talisman, is what it is, and it's powerful. It it shows up in my dreams, and it's as you really get into meditating this, that center triangle, that is the portal that would lead into what we would call the creator, the creation of all things, the different names of the living God is what it's in the proper tense. Pretty cool. Hazarel. Look at that sigil. Yeah. That's a powerful sigil, brother. That's all I got to say. That is powerful. That'll take you places, where you don't even have to leave your couch. You'll go about. Eladiah. Wow. Okay. Al, love it. There you go. If you only knew. And isn't that the truth? If we only knew. That's why we're here. We're trying to find out what exactly it is we do know. I don't know, something along the way. So when Al gets these done, we'll get into where you can charge each and every one of them. Mine is here. It's quite amazing. And, if you actually, even if you trace the talisman itself, it's one of those direct connects. So okay, it is some awesome artwork. It is, I have to say. Al, you missed your calling, brother. You are a gifted graphic designer. I'd have hired you back in the day when, I hired people like you. They were amazing, and but it is beautiful, and it'll begin to affect you. I mean, I can just tell you from personal experience that the fear abounds, but if you truly do know that then it doesn't matter what is there before you. Here's the thing. I get in discussion with these beings because, I invited them in. I give them full permission to talk. And you have two roads. When you face something that is uncertain, something that was unexpected, there are two roads in which you have. It's really only two. And one is what the natural inclination is for most people, and that is to immediately see a worst case scenario outcome. Boom. But then, if you're one of the unusual ones, what you immediately recognize is what is the true foundation of what's being done here. And it's not, it's like, it blocks this fear. In many of the invocations to these angels, if any of you have been doing that, I have, there is part of the invocation where you say, how did I lose this fear? And it's interesting because you do lose it. you look at it, and instead it's a challenge that is fun. I mean, when I used to run, and I ran track in junior high and high school, I loved track meets. I really did. I was a Boy Scout, made it all the way up to a Life Scout, didn't make it to Eagle. But I enjoyed the jamborees because it was a challenge. It was an opportunity for me to demonstrate and display my crafts of what I have learned and my skills. And it's relevant today. And I'm speaking to someone, maybe a couple of someone's. So the challenges that you're facing in your life, do not look at this in the negative context. You are well disciplined. You have been training. This is an opportunity for you now to change the future. You see, worry, fear creates a future. When you come into this as a challenge and say, I have now the mastery skills within me that I can manipulate reality. I can cause a different effect. And this is my time to display to all the spirits. I'm showing you what I've learned, what I have been able to master, and now watch me, because I'm going to come out with the trophy. I'm going to come out with the first place. I'm going to have the blue ribbon. Maybe this is a message for all of us. Because if you approach it that way, you will have a different outcome. So, just looking in the chat room. So I thought it would be appropriate, as we got back into our study, that we just simply talk about the favor invocation. Why not? What a great time. All these favors, and you can put the word in there, blessings. You can put whatever you'd like to replace favor be. See, favor to me, when I hear it, I hear and I translate that favor to me means I am empowered to prosper, that I have this essence. And favor is a spirit. There really is a spirit of favor, as there is with so many things in this realm and over in the next. So all these favors will come upon me and overtake me if I give voice to them each day. I know Lucky, he's added to his, Robert V, many of you have, and we're going to do a group because collectively as a group, as I'm reading this, it's also giving us an effect. See, favor will be with me in the city, and favor will be with me in the country. Favor will heal my body when I speak favor into my body. Your body has a spirit. Speak favor into your body spirit. Favor will set apart my children, my animals, and my ground is favored with abundance of joy. Favor will be on my food, my water, my pantry, my life force. Favor will walk with me when I come in, and favor will walk with me when I go out. Favor will cause my enemies to be at peace with me. Favor will be upon my barns and storehouses where I keep my valuables to prosper and to be in safety. Favor will be upon me in everything I undertake. Everything I set my hand to, favor shall cause it to prosper. Favor shall be upon all my material property and shall cause it to last longer and not break. Favor shall protect me, my offspring, my possessions from calamity. Favor will lead me to good fortune in all things. Favor will cause me to be the head and not the tail. Favor will cause me to come out on top and not beneath. Favor will cause me to always to be above and not below. Favor will cause me to have favor with the elementals, the elements. Favor will cause me to have favor in the spiritual realm. I have 72 angels that are digging it. I mean, I speak favor to them. They groove to it. Favor will cause me to be favorable to everyone I meet. They will see me with favor. Favor will seek me out. It will overtake me and abide with me. No weapon of any kind shall harm me, nor shall it prosper against me. It will be created in my words, and what was said has been done. Boom, baby, boom. So there you go. So let's get into our book. I ordered 3 more of the books. There is a and I'll put the link up. There is a website, and I forget who sent it to me. Get so many emails, so it's not anything personal. It's just there's, the data disk is, expands so far. Anyway, he's a prolific writer. As I've gotten more into just seeing some of the books that he writes about, he really understands the divine ones, what people call demons. And, folks, I just want to say this. If you approach a spirit being as an enemy before you ever met them, that's pretty foolish. Enough said. And then listen, don't listen to the gossip, in the girls' bathroom, and the guys do the same thing. Don't listen to the gossip. If they're trying to, lay a bad rap, well, why don't, because they might be doing it about you as well. Go and ask. All right. Note about spirits. There is no supreme deity. No God is omnipotent. No God is omniscient. No God is the creator of all matter. No God is the source of all intelligence. Agreed? Problem I have with gods, with a God, the God, even the word God is limiting. We try to make it to be all encompassing, but it's not. And so it becomes a challenge for me on that, because I see the all of being above a God. All right, 2, there are lesser and greater spirits. They are varied in their ability to influence past, present, and future events. Bam, baby. Some are telepathic to an extent, others are not. Some can create a physical change, others cannot. It's true. I mean, the spirit, the shadow people, it's real interesting, because I've seen the difference between the shadow people in the Western world and the shadow people of the Islamic world, which is many times referred to as the jinn. If they're not the jinn, but they have, and it's very interesting. I don't know if this is if it's the regional thing or what. I did a video, 4 years ago, on the concept of the 10 gods that arrived on Earth, and they divided the world up into 10 kingdoms. And isn't that odd how that's represented in the book of Revelation? Book of Daniel, primarily. I'm sorry, I was out of line on that. Different spirits may perform similar functions. They are not necessarily identical or even compatible with others who serve the exact same purpose. And it's so true. I guess sometimes we try to say that the spirit realm is nothing like the physical world, but I think a lot of people are going to be in for a real big shock. You've got lying spirits, you got deceiving spirits, and the thing about us with these living souls is that they're part of our construct. It just determines how much of a Zen master are you really going to be. All right, a spirit may have many names. These names be attached to it in different aspects or by different cultures. In short, spirits are as varied and individual as human beings, each having their own likes and dislikes, talents and shortcomings. The spirits who reside in your places of power are probably not gods. Pacts may be made with gods, but care should be given in doing such. A god will possess the following attributes. I love this. All right, everyone getting out your pencil and paper. We're doing the interview, right? As I have said, the world needs to fire these gods, and then we form our council of occultists, and then we will interview the new gods. And then we'll bring it before the people, and we'll take a vote. And we'll determine who the new god needs to be, or goddess. Scotty, what would God need a starship for? Anyway, genius. It has knowledge beyond its immediate experience. Obscurity. Its location is not verifiable or connected with its influence. Dominion. It has power to create, control, or destroy. Sounds like Kali, doesn't it? Before making a pact with any supposed god, one would be well advised to test it thoroughly. I love the artwork. Got to love it. So expressive. Natural magic. The powers of magic are not reserved for those who make pacts with spirits, endure extreme disciplines, or indulge in esoteric incantations. Natural magic, often referred to as sympathetic magic, uses more or less ordinary items and out-of-the-ordinary actions to produce extraordinary effects. Some of the common purposes of spellcraft serve immediate interpersonal needs common to all walks of life. And as such, they require a practical approach suited to those who do not keep jars full of lizard tongues and chicken feet on sticks. Just not into it, man. Just got to tell you, the items used and the procedures employed do not reflect any mystical theory, but rather the observed uses of items and actions in day-to-day life. These angels, they just simply told me, they said, you don't need to do all that you do that. If you want to talk to us, just call our name, sing it, and sing it 3 times. And they're like, okay, what do you want? They also have the remarkable ability to be in several places at the same time. Yeah, we have that ability, but we don't realize it. The following list of 52 spells should suffice to illustrate the nature of work for a sorcerer, or if desired, form a weekly regime of experimentation to last 1 full year. 1, to get rid of a person, give their unwashed clothing to a traveler leaving town. Now, if any of you have been wanting spells, here they are. 2, make someone poor, cut the pockets out of their pants. I laughed at that one. I went, well, yeah, but I can see it also spiritually as well. 3, to humiliate someone, nail their underwear to a roadside pole. Well, I can see that doing it as well. And it's interesting because you get the idea you're causing a physical effect in the physical realm. That person doesn't even need to know about it. But yet, once you enact the spell, the effect will go into the spiritual realm and come bingo right back in here and affect the person, supposedly. 4, to have influence over someone's actions, put their socks in your hat, hopefully washed. To keep away accidents, put salt in your shoes. To make someone a pest, speak their name into a hole dug by an animal. And you hear that and you're going, I can extrapolate a lot of common sense in here. I really get the paganism of this, and of course, pagan meaning, country folk. 7, to be desired by men, put salt and honey into your lipstick. Okay. To have fortunate opportunities, keep a seed in your wallet. Now, this is weird. I did this, I still do. I have a seed, and I learned this from Zig Ziglar. And when I saw this, I went, and now, and you know why now, because if you have a seed in your purse or your wallet, it's always going to bring forth money opportunities, fortunate opportunities. Don't you love this stuff? Come on. 9, to deter unwanted advances, hide rough bark in your hair. I could see that working. 10, to create harmony in a place, tie 2 opposing objects together. Isn't that interesting? Like my 2 angel dream. Boy, that is just freaking, it's still in my mind, man. It's like, boom, baby. 11, to have prophetic dreams, sleep with a watch, set it to the next day's date. Now, isn't that interesting? 12, to make someone ignore you, feed them a bit of chalk, coal, or red ink. Hopefully you won't be arrested for, malice and if someone is eating chalk or coal, okay. 13, to bring misfortune to a place, sprinkle water that has bathed a cat. I'm sorry. You get these images and you're going, yeah, I could see what that would be, some bad mojo water. I mean, never seen a cat really too excited to get wet. Anyway, 14, to give someone a bad voyage, hang their shoes in a tree. To give someone a good voyage, hang their shoes in a tree filled with seed. To know someone's secrets, bury their toenail clippings in their path. Okay. You can drive a whole lot from that. Have at it. To change someone's attitude, break a stick in their doorway. Oh, come on. These are so cool. To deter thieves, put a manila folder under your rug. For general acceptance, carry peppermint candy. Well, most everybody likes peppermint. To make someone avert aggression, throw their hat over a steep hill. And I thought about this when I said, yeah, he'll probably kill himself going after his hat. So you've averted the aggression permanently. To cause a restless night, wash someone's hat with caffeine pills in it. Why not? To cause paranoia, tie someone's hair to a fishing lure. Now, isn't that odd? I found this one odd. To find something interesting, water your garden walking backwards. I mean, come on. To find something interesting, water your garden walking backwards. To cause unexpected injury, write someone's name on a weak branch. To make someone responsible, have them carry a key for you. To make someone go hungry, tie their belt to a standing dead tree. For a sympathetic response, put a teardrop in someone's drinking cup. And I want to stop here because I had the most interesting revelation in the shower. I've said this when Jenny was on the show. There is a whole magic to tears. If you can start collecting your tears and in different vials, this is very important. If you have tears of sadness, there is a specific energy. It's and tears are very saline based. And if you have tears of joy and gratitude are the most precious things. If you do rituals in an alchemy setting, tears of joy are, I can't even begin to tell you how powerful they are. They carry, it's like the movie Dark City. If any of y'all saw that movie, it's real interesting because the alchemist, and I forget the character's name. He's a well-known actor, obviously. I'm not thinking of the moment, but he had essences, and it was from the fact of tears. Tears carry emotions. And if you begin to use these in spells or use them as offerings, particularly, again, the tears of joy, gladness, gratitude, if they're ever given to an angel as, for instance, an offering, huge, big you're going to get upgraded big time. So for what it's worth, to travel undisturbed, carry dust from under the bed in a bright red bag. All I got to say, if you've got that much dust under your bed, hey, Learn to clean. But anyway, to protect from scrutiny, put your hair in a red bag with the bed dust. To be graceful, wear a charm made from the whisker and tail fur of a cat. I had no idea. And you know what's fun about this? All of us could easily add our own modernism to this and bring it updated. I mean, it still work, supposedly. To separate couples, leave the shoe of one in a high place and throw the other off. Makes sense, doesn't it? To bring a person out of seclusion, leave their hat in the middle of a forest glen. That's presuming they wear a hat. Back in the day, everybody wore a hat, I guess. Yeah. To keep people away from you, carry coal in your pocket. And of course, it doesn't need to be a big piece. It can be a really small piece. Try it. See if it works. Maybe this could be the cure for the pandemic. I don't know. Give everyone a piece of coal. To make people follow you, put honey on your heels. I'm sure you're going to have more than just people too. 35, to make people fear you, write your name on a wasp nest. Now, isn't that interesting? Because you know immediately you're snapping to this because everyone fears a wasp nest, and rightfully so. You'd be an idiot not to. But imagine getting a old wasp nest, and I think that an old hornet's nest would work as well. And just write your name on that. I mean, these are practical experiments that, you could, and what it does, as one works, you're going, you become a little bit more confident. To cause automobile accidents, break an egg in a parking lot of an oil puddle. Now, that's an interesting one. To protect a pregnant woman, let animals copulate in her coat. I have no idea where that came from. I mean, who does that? All right. 38, to get a good reaction from bad news, put sugar in your toilet bowl. Don't go and do it right now. Stay with us until the show ends. But yeah, I mean, imagine that. So to get a good reaction from bad news, that's changing the whole dynamics of time, space, anyway. To cause a person to reject a suitor, make the suitor step into milk. To resolve tensions among guests, spit on the range iron before serving the meal. It tells you how far some of these really go back. Although I guess if you live in an authentic cabin and really are into the time era, many people still have, wood iron stoves. To protect valuables, wrap marbles in white linen and store them with the valuables. To make a person cease traveling, write their name on a turtle shell. Why, of course. Makes perfect sense. Why not? To keep safe during a storm, hold a bee stinger. Well, for some of this might be, okay. To be rid of a pest, drink from a shell and then speak with the pest. Okay. It's interesting you think on some of these. 45, to receive a gift, tape a wish list to the inside of your mailbox. To break an obligation with impunity, smash a watch. To break an obligation. There you go. Of course, could get expensive. I don't know if this is one that just goes perpetually or what. To make someone keep a social obligation, bake a treat with a chain in the oven. Okay. To make someone keep a financial obligation, seal a coin and their name in a jar. To make gossip about a person be ignored, put their socks in a horn. Of course, assuming again that number one, you have a horn, but the logistics is where I get bogged down here. I'm going, well, how the hell are you going to get someone's socks? I mean, what do? Go into their house and say, can I have a pair of your socks? Actually, I only need the one you're wearing. Yeah. Okay. To make complaints of a person go unanswered, rub oil on their door hinge. Now that, again, you can see the common sense on that one. To bring unexpected guests, place dust from your home under the doormat. To attract a crowd, sprinkle an area with sugar and seeds. I mean, I love this. No doubt, I have a feeling some of you will be trying them, and why not? It's what it's all about. That's the mystery and the joy, and like children when they come out to play. That's what magic should be. It should be something that you have fun at. You're creating, baby. I mean, come on. Don't forget, when casting these spells, it is essential to say some words of enchantment at the time. Simply say what you intend to accomplish while you perform each action. Got to admit that this is groovy stuff. All right, we still got plenty of time. Divination. No magical practice is complete without divination. And here again, I learned divination in Christianity because that's what you do in religion. It's all about divination. You are literally conjuring and, asking to see by the spirit that you're worshiping. And you sometimes will even go to it and ask you, tell me the future. Tell me, is this something I should be doing? Should I, yeah. All right. So the ability to foresee events and to know that which has already occurred. You're going, okay. Any divinatory tool must provide reliable answers concerning unknown facts. These tables show other factors which may affect the usefulness of a given method. All right, oracles. Obscurity. 1 obvious, 2 intuitive, 3 symbols, 4 arcane, and 5 lunacy. Range. Specific, varied, general, broad, any. Acquisition. Free, supplier, unusual, rare, hard. Carry. Static, heavy, large, small. Carry. Learning, anyone, curious, student, adapt, carefree. Execution, difficult, tedious. Sessions, quick, simple. Specificity, general, details, specific, exact, vivid. So the idea here is that you can actually kind of choose what you're really looking for. You may have, for instance, on obscurity, you may want to have something that, is intuitive, may have the range general. You see how it goes? Yeah. This is, and he gets into a lot of different types of divination modalities. This is bibliomancy. This is cartomancy. This is catotramancy. This is charomancy, claromancy, kaleidomancy, lanicanosmancy, ornithoromancy, ovomancy, rehabdomancy. Some of these I never even heard. So bibliomancy is by books. Attain a suitable book. The type of book you choose will determine the type of answer you get. So make sure that you choose a book offering a variety of possible answers. And immediately I'm thinking, well, a library would probably be the right, but converting this into modern era. So if you go to your Oracle, whatever search engine it is you use, it can literally lead you to a plethora of choices. But I think the idea of actually going in with your physical books, it's something that smell. Anyway, if you use a book with only one type of information, like an automotive repair manual, your results will be limited. A thesis works most excellently, though the Bible and Homer will also work. Isn't that interesting? So this is what you do. You lay your hand on the book cover, name the book by its title, and ask a question out loud. Now you then open the book and lay your hand on any random word without looking at the word you choose. You make a note of the word chosen and continue for as long as you feel necessary to form a sentence. Then you take the words in the order you receive them and make a sentence from them. This sentence will answer your question. Cartomancy, cards. The best and easiest way to learn how to read cards involves nothing more than giving readings for yourself or for others, if you prefer. I mean, that's the only way you're ever going to get good at it. Practice on yourself. Most of them will fall into place for your reading if you ignore all symbolism and pay close attention to content. Note the number, position, and apparent activity of any and all figures involved in the cards, and make a special note of images which appear in several cards during the same reading. If you must learn the symbols of the cards, learn their patterns and systems. They don't exist independently of each other, but as a complex and coherent system in which the parts have significant relation to each other. In the standard 78 card tarot set, you can learn the suit cards quickly. If you know astrology well enough to remember the 36 decantants of the zodiac and their ruling planets, bingo, baby. Each of the suit cards has the qualities of the planet and the astrological sign. For example, the Four of Discs relates to the sun in Capricorn. The sun has the power to provide, but Capricorn, a fixed sign ruled by Saturn, and the powers of restriction and ambition, limits this provision to one particular area. As the goat climbs the mountain, but cannot go anywhere other than the mountain. It shows a successful enterprise demanding constant attention in order to maintain its strength. The sun has 4 modes of action and season, and any attempt to deviate from the structure results in instability. The 5 of Disc, while any ignorance of this pattern of growth leads to excessive labor. And the 3 of Disc, the Rider-Waite deck, shows that this theme as a man hoarding coins. Crowley's Thoth deck shows a remote moat fortress surrounded by fields. You can just as easily gain the correct impression from the picture alone. The astrology serves only to check your work and to ensure you to think from a different angle. Cool. Suit cards 2 through 9 fit the 36 decantas of the zodiac. Each astrological sign has 3 divisions of 10 degrees, each called a decantus. All this astrology attributes a planetary power to each of these sections. The fire sign contains the suit of wands, water signs have the cups, and so forth. The 2 of wands begins in Aries, the suit continues with the 5, 6, and 7 in Leo, and finishes with the 8, 10 of wands in Sagittarius. The other suits operate similarly with the 2s in Capricorn, Libra, and Cancer, the fixed signs. Beginning with Mars, ruling the first decantic, the Aries, the 2 of wands, and following the standard planetary order, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon, then repeat. You can easily determine the rest of the placements. The cycles ends with Mars in Pisces. The 10 of Cups is a victory feast. If this sounds difficult, simply draw out a circle of 12 sections with 3 subsections in each part and fill in the signs. Some decks even have the information printed on the cards. The picture on the cards do little more than represent a mixture of the planetary and the sidereal with knowledge of these attributions, you can do just as well in reading as you can with the pictures, or merely use them to check your work if the interpretation seems to be askew. Sometimes people complain that they don't understand the court cards well enough. In this, it helps to know how they relate to each other as sub-elements within the greater elemental suits. For example, the King of Swords takes the place of fire, of air, aggression, swiftness, even recklessness, like the gust of rushing wind. The Queen, water of air, shows more reservation and builds herself higher rather than moving forward, like a billowing thunderhead. These cards can relate directly to people, but more precisely, they relate to types of choices, strategies, and positions in which specific people might fall. The use of physical traits relate to the court cards rarely turns up useful information, but pulls in top dollar from professional readers. That's his point, not mine. In any case, don't wait until you know the cards to start using them for divination. Attempt to uncover the motives of your peers, their current actions, and their plans. This will allow you to rely on the cards as a more reliable source than a word of mouth during times of confusion, as a guide in times of uncertainty, and as a warning in times of danger. Avoid asking questions related to what you should do or what you do best for what would do best for you. And instead, look for real events and real outcomes, thus allowing you to decide the best course of action and to be well informed. Okay. We'll pick this up tomorrow. Yeah. I love this book. It's just so much common sense. So anyway, boom, boom. There you go. Hope you've enjoyed it. I do. It's very practical, and yeah, it's always that. Anytime, it's always it. I digress as I look down at something. So, cheers, everybody. That is just some far out stuff, man. I just don't get how you get some of these items, but I can see that if you're like living in a large frat house, I could see that working very well. Thank you, Chloe. Well, you have a great one, dear. Chess pieces. I love this. It is Spock Lover. I agree. It is a most interesting book so far. Well, thank you, AF. I appreciate that. Beloved Abstract, right back at you, hon. Robin, hello, and Nina, she has her show. Thank you, Grandpa Brian. I really enjoy seeing you over there with the ladies. Thank you, Teresa. Andromeda. It's on Friday nights. Yeah, that's absolutely. More on Ken's journey. Okay, cool. Hey, Julianne, good to see you, dear. All right, Elderberry, good to see you, Isby. Marissa, when you get your YouTube channel up, let me know and we'll get it promoted over. I know you have it. Just send me the link. Lucky Stone, when common sense becomes magic, it makes those aware into wizards. Lucky, all I got to say is we are some freaking badass wizards. That's all I got to say. This is fun. And we got some wonderful witches. I mean, powerful witches. That's all I got to say. All right. Almost did it, but I didn't, Maddie. Almost. It was close. All right, folks. Much love to you. See you tomorrow. Please think about joining, making this a viral worldwide event. I am mad as hell. I'm not going to take this anymore. And learn tomorrow night. I have a way in which we can start doing this, and we'll see how it grows. So anyway, toenail clippings. I know, Chloe. I'm going, come on now. But listen, I guess if you're, really into the craft, I mean, yeah, I'm going, yeah, all right. Just some things. There's just some things that, I don't particularly want to pick up after another person. That's one of them. Martin, Heidi, much love to y'all. Janie, good to see you, and Cheryl. So, all right, folks, I'll see you tomorrow.